one-on-one with the assistant head coach, Ed Lamb.
Coach, this is an interesting week for you because of your recent transition to BYU. You used to be the coach down at Southern Utah. What's this week like for you preparing emotionally?
Oh, yeah, the old emotion question coming back. Thank you. I have to take it out of it. Very honest answer. It is, or the potential would be there for it to be emotional. Those guys down there are my family. I consider them my family for the rest of my life, the players and the coaches. But from a business standpoint, and really even down there for the last 8 years, my whole objective was to help them be as good as they could be and to work as hard as I could do to do that. And now I have a new team that I'm associated with, and my 100% of my objective is to help BYU be as good as it can be. And so there's no conflict, there's no emotion, there's no anything like that. After the game, I hope that both sides are in the mood to talk and catch up, and I'll wish them well, and hopefully they'll do the same.
How do you separate that? Because you seem to be an incredible asset this week in terms of scouting the other opponent, I imagine.
Yeah. It's just, this is the school and the team that I work for, so I give as much information as I possibly can, and I have a high level of respect for the players down there. So it's not as if I'm walking around saying, hey, this dude's a turkey, and you can get a personal foul on him. That's not what kind of guys they are. I'm talking about their strengths, and I'm talking about their abilities and what we have to do to counteract that.
Through 9 games this season, where is the state of BYU football right now in relation to where you want it to be?
Well, I think for the remainder of any season, you own the wins and the losses. And there have been some disappointing losses that we felt like we could have won. So I think the state of the program is cautiously optimistic about the next game, and trying to keep our focus really on that, and realizing that if we don't play as well as we can, there's a feeling of disappointment, win or lose. So the idea is to play as well as we can.
What would this week be like for a couple of guys you brought up with you, Kean Norman and Andrew Idy, who they have to play against their old teammates there?
Well, so I know SUU's mindset, and we won several games against FBS schools where we're down three games, UNLV, South Alabama, and Texas San Antonio. So that every player on that team has been a part of at least one of those victories. They're not coming in here like some of the FCS teams will kind of hope that the team overlooks them. Their total mindset, and this is what we've talked about for years down there, is that we want the very best that BYU or any opponent would have to offer, and see how close we can make it. I mean, maybe we can win, or maybe we keep it within 10, or maybe we're 60 points shy of that goal, but we want their best. And so they'll come in here looking for the best that Andrew has to offer and the best that Kean has to offer. It'll be very personal, and that'll be for those guys lining up across from them, it'll be a high level of motivation.
What kind of football do you expect them to play? Is it more ground and pound, or do you expect some trickeration? What do you anticipate from Southern Utah?
They're actually their offense is perfectly balanced on the year. They're 44% screen, 44% run, 44% pass, and then the rest is screen and draw type games. So they really have made a conscientious decision to be balanced. They have really good receivers, really good running backs. I think they'll test us in every way that they can and go with what's working.
How would you evaluate the special teams play so far this season?
Effort levels really high. I think to get more dynamic in the punt return game, the kickoff return game is really a goal for us closing out the season, and we've worked really hard in that area. I think our kick placements on kickoff can improve. I think I think right now, as far as statistics and rankings, the coverage teams are doing really well, but I think we haven't reached our full potential yet, so I'm challenging the guys to get even better.
How many players do you want to see the field on Saturday? I mean, is this a scenario where you're like, I'd like to get everybody that's dressed on the field?
That's true, but it's true every Saturday. Who would have thought maybe at the beginning of the season that we would have played the most players at Michigan State, but that happened to be how it worked out. One of the challenges of having so many close games is some of our young players who we feel really have a bright future haven't had an opportunity to just come in and get their feet wet with the game, not necessarily on the line. And so if that happens this week, it's the goal, but it's the goal every week, and that's no disrespect to Southern Utah.
What's it like to have 3 straight home games to end the regular season? That's just kind of unique that way.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it shows you. I think we play an unbalanced schedule anyway. I think we play one more on the road, or at least one more neutral game than we have at home. And so to finish with 3 at home tells you how slanted our schedule's been on the road so far this season. So it's great. I think it gives everybody a chance to spend a little more time in the classroom academically, gives our coaches a chance to spend a little more time at home. And I think we're all looking forward to really just finishing as strong as we can, taking it week by week, of course.
How much does the storyline of becoming bowl eligible factor into what you look at this week in terms of what you want to accomplish?
This is the only week that we should be talking about that, really, because it's the 6th win, and we should, I hate to speak in cliches, but sometimes cliches are that way for a reason, and you have to take it week by week. We have to take it week by week, and this week there's an opportunity to get bowl eligible.
All right, Ed, thanks for the time. No more emotional questions. I promise.
Cyborg.
Thank you.
I'm glad you brought up the cyborg.